Hello and welcome to Baggio's Penalty Landed in My Garden with me and Scott. Today we're going to talk through the last round of 16 games, the quarterfinals, some corruption in FIFA, loads of corruption in FIFA, Scott. Argentina, got a Brazil chat, Norway, loads of good stuff. Scott, how are we doing this week?
Yeah, I think I've got over the worst of a summer cold, so that's always good. But yeah, enjoyed the football, so I'm looking forward to talking all about it.
So we'll get one game a day now until the end.
And reasonable, but I think kind of most of them are reasonable times. Like there's
It's like
one
eight.
at 2 in the morning and the Saturday morning, like Sunday morning.
I thought they were all like one after each other, so it's quarterfinals.
I think the Argentina game's after the England game, but it's still at 2 in the morning, I think, or unless the BBC told me a lie.
BBC lying to you. We'll have a look at that when we get to
More
the
corruption.
fixtures, to the corruption. Yeah. Speaking of corruption, we'll start with that. We're going to go with Argentina Egypt, which was the last match day we had. It opened it up, and we got a bit of a cracker. Scott, Egypt go 1-0 up. They go 2-0 up, which we thought this is done. I
Well,
think
it could
Argentina.
have been 3-0 up. There was a goal before the second one that got chopped off.
But then I'm always like, well, if they score that one, maybe they don't get the
Yeah,
other one.
no, yeah,
Yeah,
I get you, but they did have a goal chopped
yeah.
off as well in between.
And Argentina had never come back from 2-0 down before, like in a World Cup
Yeah, I
games.
forgot
Like
about that stat. Yeah,
the,
that's true.
the
Yeah, I
sign
forgot
the
about that.
signs were looking bad, and then Messi assists for Romero's header, and then you start thinking they've got one. I think someone said to me, you said like they basically Senegal themselves here. Like you start
Yeah,
getting nervy, you're holding on to what you've got, and then the second goal, Messi, a lovely kind of half volley, brilliant technique. Even he seemed surprised by his little facial expression. And then we got the third goal on the break, and there was a lot of corruption between. We'll start with the after it was 1-0, and let's put it in the context. Egypt had one touch inside Argentina's box in the first half and went 1-0 up. They then go, and they were threatening on the break. You could see there was something possible, and
the boy Hassan
was
was really good on the right wing
it
as an
was
outlet.
it was. And you lamented the fact that they brought him off, which we don't know about
I
fitness and
think
kind of
somebody
whatever.
said. I think I did read something about an injury, so that could have been.
Right?
Again,
Okay.
it's hard because you do. I remember kind of jumping in on Ben Doak, and you said, "Well, listen, it could be a fitness thing," and you were right. There was a
And he
fitness
said he
thing.
was done. Did he? He was like, I was fucking
He said
cooked.
himself. So I was a bit more reserved last night. And if
Yeah.
you can't do anything about that, unfortunately, it's just the player you would not have picked. Um,
So
so
if
yeah,
if you've not seen it, basically, Lisandro Martinez loses possession in his own corner. There was a tug on the jersey and a stamp on the foot. And when you see the stamp, because I think everyone was looking at the jersey first of all, and you look down, the guy stands on his foot and then he goes down, loses the ball. Egypt had a wonderful counter attack,
so
fantastic goal.
So when you just to clarify, and I know there's not going to be
Yeah,
a huge amount of people listening, but when you say his own corner, you mean the corner kick and not his own corner from his half of the field.
no, it was in that quadrant where the corner
Yeah.
is in his own half. Uh, Egypt score a wonderful goal on the break, and I wonder if this goal had been like a shitty goal, would there been as much, because it was such a beautiful World Cup goal, World Cup moment? Everyone's kind of losing their mind. Well, oh my god, it's such a shame. It's like,
So it was a
and I
lovely
think,
goal in terms of guy breaks down the right, beats two or three players,
yep,
gets the ball to Mohamed Salah, who plays an inch perfect
wonderful
pass,
ball
and the boy finishes at
to
Zico, and
Zico.
it's Zico as well as a Brazilian name against the Argentinians. And I think, as well as the goal being great, it was also going to put Argentina, the world champions, 2-0 down, and an
Yep.
African team going through to the next stage of the tournament. So there's lots of things that obviously kind of meshed together, but I'll let you carry on because I will agree
But
with you, I'm pretty sure.
I think me and Scott both agree, because we talk about these things fucking all day and night, and it was a foul, and it was brought back for the and people going, "Oh, how far do you go back?" It's like, well, it was the same phase of play. It's not like they've gone like goal kick, throw in, free kick, or they've scored, or we'll take it back to free. It was the same phone
It was,
piece of action.
it was Argentina's ball, and that's who they lost the ball was due to a
Yeah,
foul, and that's
yeah.
that's all you really need to know.
And I'm
I
and I'm
don't
sure
understand the
I'm
outcry.
sure when VAR was getting like touted, it was like, oh, what if like someone goes up and there's a penalty shout, and then they go up the other end, and the other team scores, and you're like, well, it comes back because it was a penalty,
Yeah, because
or
it was
it's
penalty.
just yeah, you'll check it and they'll be like, oh, that was actually a penalty. Whatever happens after doesn't count, and it's unfortunate. I mean, it was, it'd been an amazing moment. They pretty much did the same goal
Yeah,
not
yeah,
that long
the
after
same
and made
3
it 2-0.
players. Yeah, same 3 players were all involved, and they gave them that 2-0 lead that they had.
Yep.
And unfortunately for Egypt, for me, and this is another thing that we're going to probably talk about later on, as well as for what happens later on in this game, plus a red card that happened in a previous round that affected this round of games. Referees and VAR officials, whoever, it's interpreting the law. It's not always black and white. It's their interpretation of the law.
What I
And
will say from this week, looking at the things that we'll get to Balogun's tackle, the laws when you read them, mate, they're so wishy washy as
but that's how
well.
it, but that's how it's
Yeah.
but that's how it's
So the
interpretation, because it can't
yeah,
be just by the pure instant
yeah.
of the tackle.
And
It's not black and white.
I think it was a foul. I think we both agree on that. Like, unfortunate. But then Egypt had the the subs were questioned. Obviously, if Hassan's got an injury, fine. But they did that same thing that happens. We've seen it a million times. You try and protect the lead. You sit back. You're giving Messi more and more space. And I said to you, Argentina looked like they had no idea what to do
Yeah.
because all their whole game plan, it has been most games, is get the ball to Messi. All these players who are like internationals, play for top clubs, pretend to get the ball. They're like, where is he? And you're like, fucking hell, do something yourself. They don't. To get the first goal, they get the second goal, and then let's get to the third goal. We both think, and we've seen angles of Mo Salah falls down. Mo Salah loses the ball and he falls down. I'm not going to say die because it seems harsh, but he did not get a foul in the box.
So
And then
I'll talk about it.
yeah, there was like the tug by McAllister as well. If you give that, it's like the softest penalty known to man. Ridiculous. And then unfortunately, Argentina go up and there's a wonderful ball. Lautaro Martinez, has he ever hit a cross like that in his entire life? I don't think I've seen it. And then Enzo with a wonderful header back across goal. And Argentina win 3-2. You've got Hossam Hassan calling it corruption in the players. It's like, and I've got people on my Instagram going, oh, FIFA want them in the file. Like, there was nothing corrupt about it. The fact that everyone's like 50-50 and it's going back and forward shows you it can't be corruption. It's not like it's not like a hand of God where you're like, oh, it's definitely handball. It's not even in doubt. There's debate. It's not black and white. It's not nailed on. And I
So
think it's
for
just,
me, in my interpretation of what happened and how I would not have given the penalty, um, and the difference between the Argentina one and this one, it's Ed, sorry. Salah loses the ball first. So that's it. The ball's gone. He then, and we saw a view afterwards that you sent me today, shows that he looks like he's initiated the contact.
yeah. He's done
And
that thing I hate when the
he's
striker
went
puts
down.
his leg out towards Alvarez's leg, and you're like, yeah.
And the main point, I think, between the two things, and I think it's a valid point. Again, it's always about the interpretation of the referee at the time, so you have to go with that. And I think he's interpreted it the same way we have, is that he'd lost the ball already and
Yeah.
then fell down. Essentially, that's what happened. Not
And there's
every
been a
time
lot.
somebody touches somebody, because you'll never get, or you'll hardly ever get a 100% clean tackle where the guy just takes the ball and
No.
nothing else.
And there
So
was some
the
bad tackles. There was a
contact,
tackle from Romero when he went through someone. There was a Tagliafico one. There probably should have been 2 bookings there. And then people add that onto it. It's corruption. It's corruption. Sometimes it's just shite refereeing.
yeah,
And I think people, why wasn't there a bigger VAR check? Is that the VAR are looking at it as like the game's going
as it
on?
goes, yeah.
Yeah, because they've got there's like 3 of them. They've got fucking umpteen TVs. One's going check that. That's fine. Just because they don't stop the game and he doesn't go to the monitor does not mean they're not looking at it. And I think
I
people are just looking for
I
this
just don't
because
think if you had that in a Premier League game or a Ligue 1 game or Serie A game, nobody's talking about it the next day. I don't think it maybe gets talked about one day, but it's not by the same kind of metrics.
I love the For You tab on Twitter because I get sent a lot of shit, and you've been enjoying it as well, the American fans. The amount of fucking posts about this, I'm like, give it a fucking break, lads. If this was the Colombia-Switzerland game, which was terrible, this would not have been talked about as much. It's
Yeah,
because
100%,
Argentina, because of the world
good
champions,
comparison.
because it'd have been a great story if Egypt get through, knock them out. Even more so because the English are fucking desperate for them to get knocked out, so they might not face them in the semi-final. Fucking desperate. They'd be fucking rubbing their hands, going, Egypt, yes! Like,
And I'll always say it, football is one of the hardest things to corrupt in a certain way, unless you pay off your team, the opposition team, and stuff like that,
yeah.
which clearly
And
hasn't happened in this
I
game.
was reading I was reading something this week about guys that were paid off, and it's like I think maybe it was some Italian games, and like they
Probably.
pay them they pay them off. It's like if you think it's, say Milan Udinese and Milan are like favourites to win, it'll be like they win by 3 goals, no two, because it's then there's not like, well, why would someone bet 50k on Milan to win 4-1? That's the normal like you don't go. I'm going to put money on. As I say, it's come back 3-2 Egypt in the fucking round of 16. It just looks dodgy. Like it's just nah,
But
not having it. Not having it.
the best way for Egypt to go through is just not concede 3 goals. You have you have, unless it's a penalty and it's a divided or a penalty, you have every other aspect going for you to stop that. You have to do your defending first. You have to mark
And it's
man.
hard, Scott.
You
It's
have
hard to
to.
be two. It's hard to be 2-0 up and like
No, of
keep
course
going.
not.
Like we said
It's
about Senegal, but just keep going, lads. And it's so hard because the nerves kick in. You're on the edge of something
yeah.
special.
But
You
that's what
sit
it costs
back.
you. That's what it
Yeah,
costs you. It's not the decisions of the referee. It's your own personal decisions. And it's the hardest thing to do in football. Sometimes is protect a lead against a far superior team. And I think Argentina were a superior team. They just hadn't played that well.
yeah,
And when I say superior team, superior person, I say ended all debate for me with with Maradona.
yeah.
I think he ended the Cristiano stuff a long time
A long
ago.
time ago.
But
Yeah,
the Maradona stuff, and I tell you the reason for me why, and it's all subjective, and people have seen Maradona in the 80s and think probably differently. But he's carrying them through a World Cup with what, 38? He's
yep.
already done it 4 years ago. So that's kind of what Maradona was doing. But he's also turned up to this tournament. Maradona let himself down. He let his whole nation down when they did
Yeah,
it in the United States in the 94. Nobody wants to really talk about it. And listen, the guy's got his demons. I don't blame him personally. Do you know what I mean? It's just that's the
yeah.
way that cards are dealt. Messi's continuously turned up. And he's
You look
still.
at just the club career as well. It just mass anything Maradona done there internationally, mass everything he's done. It doesn't.
But he's
He has
still the puppet master. He's still head and shoulders above pretty much everybody else, and he can find wee pockets, and he can still score goals. The difference between him and Cristiano Ronaldo, and this is why Cristiano Ronaldo's failed this World Cup essentially, is that he can only do one thing now because he's lost that power and that
he needs
pace
everyone just to
because of
feed him
age,
that
and
ball in the
that
box, and
happens to
yeah,
most people. Whereas Messi has the ball control and the brains, just natural gift, so he can still find pockets, he can still find goals, he can still do assists,
yeah.
and that's for me. I'm obviously my favourite player will always be Ronaldo, the phenomenal, but.
You're not sat there going, our name is better. Like
No,
you
yeah,
love
exactly.
Ronaldo.
That's it.
We
It's
all
like
know, yeah.
Messi's the best player I've ever seen because he
Like
still does things like that.
you're
And he's
allowed to
done it
love
since he walked on the pitch at Barcelona.
if you love Cristiano Ronaldo, fine. But don't sit there in your fucking little Portuguese shirt wanking yourself off thinking he's still better somehow. Like it's just I hope as I said on Twitter, I hope in their brains they understand, but they still like they
But
just
I don't
can't
think he
accept it. They've got
understands because he then
well
has to say, "Oh, winning the Euros was harder than winning the World Cup, or it's on the same level." And you're
he
like,
did it.
"No, it's
He,
not.
they only
It's
won that Euro because he was on the fucking bench because he got injured and
exactly he didn't
Eder,
play
the
them.
Leo
Yeah,
legend Eder
Leo,
scored the winner.
Leo man." But it's like it's not because
Yeah,
you didn't beat Brazil, you didn't beat Argentina. It's not got the same tradition. It's not got the same history.
I know.
And
But do you know,
there's no way you're changing
if
that.
he'd scored three and Portugal beat France 3-2 in the Euros final, fine. But he didn't. You'd fuck all you do with it. Anyway, they will play Switzerland in the quarterfinals, who come through on penalties against Colombia, which is a game that we can all forget ever happened. So disappointed by that. In Colombia, I think it was 94 shots on goal in the tournament, 5 goals, a 5% conversion rate. And that sums up every time. I watched all the games. It's like they create, they just can't. Luis Diaz couldn't finish. Luis Suarez is a fucking disgrace to football. No one could score, and it's a shame. They played some good stuff. They're exciting, but it's not good enough.
So I think Colombia are the South American version of Turkey. They're always dark
Oh
horses.
yeah,
You're always kind of looking forward to seeing them play,
oh, they've
but
got talent.
9 times out of 10, they just don't turn up. You
Yeah,
know,
I think Turkey actually managed to have more shots than Colombia in 3 games. Actually,
probably Scotland the only team that had less. You've got was it 2014? I think it was with the James Rodriguez.
James Rodriguez volley one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So they were good
Falcao.
that one.
Yeah,
90, they were good in 90.
Valderrama. Yep,
Higuita and stuff. Unfortunate situation in '94.
94.
Every other time when you think, oh, I think Colombia are going to be a good team to watch and all the rest of it, they either crumble in the group stages or they managed to get through like this one, but not really play
Yeah.
attacking, like scoring goals
No,
as you say, not
they were playing
intent.
attacking,
They
just
were,
it's just
yeah,
couldn't just
they
yeah,
were attacking, they were entertaining enough, but you just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net.
yeah.
And it's
I think
just,
Luis Diaz will leave after the season for Bayern. I think he'll be really upset with his contribution. But it's time to talk about England, Mexico in the Azteca. Up there, one of the games of the tournament. If you stayed up till I think it started at 2 after the rain delay,
yeah, it was
I,
around
I was
2.
working, so I got paid to watch it, which is fine. And like one of the I think I said to my ex-wife where I was messaging, it was like, she was like, "Oh, I'm surprised you've not been to the Azteca already." I was like, well, I'll just fucking pop down to Mexico City. Fucking, I'll get the 118 down. Fucking hell. But it has to be on the bucket list. The
Oh
atmosphere
yeah,
was
yeah.
incredible. Like, I think it was the opening game and one of the first knockout game against Ecuador. That when the anthem started, it was already like there. But then that night it just fucking went through the roof like he was. And what I'll say about England is they played that first 20 minutes perfectly. They made it bitty, they slowed it down. I mean, there was the Raul Jimenez header, Pickford save, fucking wonderful save. But they didn't let the crowd get into it too much. They didn't let get over the top of them, and then they scored the goal at the perfect time. You watch that. You watch there's a view from behind the goal high up, and you see Jude Bellingham make the run. It's brilliant. He knows where he's going, timed it perfectly. Mexico fuck up and it goes 2-0, and you're like, I thought it was over. I was like, this is done. I just don't see England are not Egypt. They're not Senegal. No disrespect. It's like they're not going to let this kind of lead go. But then we got a goal before half time when Quinones,
Flores, yeah.
and then you're like, we've got a game here. And it was like kind of the worst. I think the worst two things happened to Mexico. Kwanzaa gets sent off, and then England make it 3-1. Like really close together. I don't know how many minutes were
It
apart.
never went Mexico's way in terms of the goals. The goals
Nah,
just never felt right for them. And
if that red card, if they'd have got maybe like 10 minutes of pressure on, I think you mean that there were, but that goal just sort of killed the fans were still going mental, but it killed, I think, the players' belief that they could do this. Uh, Obviously goes to 3-2, but the two cool substitutions were perfect. Dan Burn on, Stones on, Jed Spence on. They defended for their lives. You can see Mexico had no idea how to break them down. When the game was open, they could do it. Like, they were nice passing movements. Really, they were getting in between the centre backs. When it was all just like 7, 8 people in the box, they had no idea what to do. They kept going to Gallardo down the left. I never seen put one fucking good cross in for any game. All the crosses were coming from the right the first half. They went, "Now we'll feed him." I was like, what he's doing. I think they got their subs wrong.
do you
And
think they went down the left because of the suspect of England right? And rather than playing to their own
yeah, because
strengths,
like
they probably played down
Kwanzaa's gone
England's
off. You've made some changes,
weakness. Yeah.
but you created all those chances down the right with Alvarado
And
and
you've got space in the left end to cross it into. Do you know what I mean? If you think about
you
it,
fucking
you're probably
attack
better
the
doing
back
that way
post.
anyway.
Yeah. I wonder if Javier Aguirre kind of regrets that side of it. But England had to give them their praise that
No,
they defended.
I think for England, it's probably up there with probably the top 3 performances I've seen of England in my lifetime. I think I go to the Dutch in '96,
Yep.
the Germans with the beating of
Apart from like
Germany.
that fucking goal in at the end, that knocked us out,
Yeah,
bastards.
I try to forget about that. The German, they win the 5-1 in
Yeah, the
Germany,
5-1.
and then yeah, that's up there
I
because
think the one everyone talks about is not it was the 1-0, was it the 1-0 win in Italy to qualify?
yes,
Is
yeah,
that
where he was
the
up
night in
front and
Turin,
stuff.
one night in Turin?
Um,
Yeah. But
that,
as
that
in a
so,
tournament based, like one of the best
So it's
performances, I think.
probably the best World Cup performance. At 90, they did well, but it was kind of coming back from games like Cameroon and stuff.
Yeah,
Belgium they beat. So I think for me anyway, that's probably the. I think 3 big standouts for me: Bellingham, Kane again, and that's what you want from your team. You want your 2 superstars to turn
yeah.
up. I thought Jordan Pickford did really well as well. I know he conceded a
Uh,
couple of goals, but I think he
he
made
made some brilliant
real.
saves, like commanding as well. That the last like 20, 30 minutes, or it was. Yeah, he was. The other one I'd pick out is Anthony Gordon turned
Yeah,
up that game.
yeah.
He was
They needed the wingers. You know, I think
he
Saka
was
did all right, but Gordon was a lot better than he's been so far in this tournament,
yeah.
and they did need that as well. They needed the wingers to show up.
He was
Uh,
defending well. He was doubling up down the right hand side, and he was fucking breaking forward and winning fouls, won the penalty. Like,
and
yeah, it's
listen, I
brilliant.
love slagging off England. Everybody loves slagging off England up here. That performance in that atmosphere with the altitude, and people can
Mm,
mock the altitude all they want, it's still a big thing because that's why Mexico have that huge record
Yeah.
in the Azteca.
In defence,
But
I saw people posting the teams they've beaten. They're like, it's not a great list, but they're still got to do it. Like
you still do it
consistency
to
and
go
yeah,
about 3 games in 80 games is still, I mean, it's
yeah,
still
it's
not
quite yeah.
easy.
But it's like Curacao and all there's all these lot and like all the like kind of Concacaf teams. It's not a European quality. It's not
But
90
even
games in the
you mean
European
you
qualifying.
would think that them and USA are kind of neck and neck, but they're obviously
Yeah,
getting those results there. So yeah, you have to applaud England. I thought it was a really good performance, best performance so far. So I'd say it's even better than the Croatia one because
yeah.
it meant something.
So I've got. It goes two ways for me, Scott. Either this is the catalyst, the togetherness that takes them all the way to the fucking final, or that was their final, and
So the
it
biggest
took so much to get them through that maybe they've not quite got that edge for
So
Norway.
the thing that I keep coming back to, I said right at the start before the tournament started, we were talking about these things. The defence still isn't that great. It's still
No,
quite leaky, and it's still if they come up against France, I think they're getting absolutely
yeah, but Scott, that's the
banjoed.
final, and my fucking heart can't take that. I need someone to
But
pump them out before then.
but we will get to who they're coming up against. And that right back position's just cussed. It's 100% cussed.
Yes, it is cuss.
There's a wee guy from Liverpool who's currently residing in Madrid who's decided that he's prayed to
To Dan,
his
it's
God
Danhausen. It's
or
Danhausen
his
again. You are cussed.
or he's
He's done
prayed
a
to Steven
cameo.
Gerrard. I don't know who it is, but that is that position is 100% cussed. Everybody's getting
I
injured
think
or suspended. They're coming back and then getting injured again.
sent
Um,
off.
yeah,
So let's get to who they're facing. So it will be Norway, who knocked out our beloved Brazil, 2-1
that's a good game. I
in New
enjoyed
York.
that game. It
It
was.
was a good
I
game.
know
It was
you didn't like Norway for a lot of the spell. Not didn't like them. That's harsh.
what I hate in football is it's a World Cup knockout and there's guys stood in the middle of the pitch, his fucking foot on the ball. You're like fuck it, and I get because like
But
Carlos played this kind of
I think that with hindsight, I think that was all a trap, and I think it worked.
yeah, but they're trying to. Carlos been playing this kind of mid block, so they don't want to press Norway. Norway are going, come on then, like come in, and it worked. But the game, like Brazil could have been through
Yeah,
because they had their
Brazil
chances.
should have been through it. The penalty they should have
The
scored.
penalty should have scored. Anything take a stutter, you fucking deserve to miss. Fuck them. Uh, that should have been 1-0. Then obviously Haaland does Haaland things, and what I'll say the changes the Solbakken made with Sheldrup and Oscar Bob coming on down the wings changed
Yeah.
it because they were
And
showing
I
nothing
was a bit
down.
surprised 'cause I thought Musa had done okay compared to everybody else in
Yeah,
the team and stuff. But no, the changes were good.
I think if
That
you give those two lads half an hour and go for it,
I
lads.
cannot. Odegaard, I thought that was his best game of the tournament. I thought
Yep.
he did really well. But I cannot gloss over my favourite goal so far that the whole round.
Either the first one or the second one.
The first one.
First one. Just the way
See when you
the
watch
fuck.
him and he's
Oh,
just walking around as if he's
yeah.
disinterested, just walking around, and he just waits for a ball.
As soon as Sheldrup gets it,
It's not. It's
yeah,
not as soon as
beats
he
the
gets it.
man.
As
It beats
soon
the
as he
man.
beats a man, yeah. As soon as he
Yeah.
beats a man, he's like, "Oh wait, there. This could be
Boom.
something." And then stays on the
Did,
shoulder of Gabriel. And I listened to another podcast and they talk about Gabriel. Should be doing this. Should be doing that. And all the rest of it. It's easy enough to say that, but see with your concentration, you think, "Oh, he's not done anything. This, that, next thing." That's how the great strikers work. And he's just went bang, and he's done it so fast and his header was perfect as well. I just love that run. I just love the fact that he's just been
it's
so
also
nonchalant and then went,
if
"Do you
you're
know what? At
standing
this point,
still,
bang, goal."
Gabriel's standing still, right, and Haaland's got like a run on him. It's so
Yeah.
hard to to get
And
up
the
and fight that.
And the Norwegian ball is obviously going to Haaland. It's not going to Gabriel.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if you're standing there, it's hard to because you're then having to move back the way essentially, and he's coming on to it, and it's just perfect. He's absolute.
Oh,
The cross is great, but the run is perfection, and it's just that I love doing that in football. I don't know if he did that. I didn't see his face, but you would just kid on your going, and the defender would make a
it's a
step,
wee
and
yeah.
you would just do him in that kind of one way down, or you would wait and you'd see the defender looking at the ball 1 minute, but not 1 minute, 1 millisecond too
It's
long,
really,
and
yeah.
then that's when you bust through. I just loved that goal. It was fantastic.
No. And what I'll say is, John Walker, the guy doing the bets, he put a thing about Haaland to score with a header. and I didn't take it because I've seen Haaland play for City so many times. I think he's one of the worst headers of a ball going. And it was like, of course he has. But you watch him for City, there's a lot of headers where you think he's going to nail this, and he doesn't.
Well,
That's
you
why there's
see
a lot
that,
of
yeah, you see
there's a
that
fucking
header.
karate chops half the time.
You see that header, you think, oh, you should get a 20 goals a
Yeah,
season with that head in your
easy,
head. Do you know what I mean?
easy.
It's crazy.
But then Man City also just don't cross the ball for some reason.
Well,
Uh,
Pep wasn't a fan of crossing the ball into the box, was he?
and then we get I forgot the goalkeeper's name, which is basically fucking amazing. The
Uh,
save,
yeah, I can't remember his name either. Yeah, the one
the
that looked over him from his own defender.
the leap and the deflection, and you're like, this guy is like a second choice keeper.
Was he
Is
not playing in the lower leagues?
Orion Nyland.
Was he
He
not
plays
playing
for
in?
he's not got a team.
Was he not playing for an English lower league team previously? They're not like
He was at Sevilla. He's been at Reading. He's been at Bournemouth. Been at Norwich. Been at Villa.
right.
Uh,
Okay, so I think it may have been
and he's
Reading that
not
I was
got
thinking of.
and he's not got a team at the moment. He's fucking just played the game of his life against Brazil in the World Cup, and that save was
Oh yeah.
unreal. To the reaction to claw out, yeah, and that could have been 1-1, and we've got a different game again.
I'm going to go back
And,
though. I'm going to go back slightly.
right,
See the
right,
penalty. See the penalty that Brazil won. Again,
yeah.
100% a penalty. I do not understand this. Oh, Bate touched the ball. I don't care if he's even milli. I don't think he did.
People don't know the rules. There's an angle, Scott. We see
And then I went, yeah, right. I did see an angle. I thought he might have.
and people
So
going, why are we not using the little snickometer thing again to see the touch? You know, because that was only to get fucking Ronaldo through. That only exists for that.
no,
Corruption.
but that is a touch to see that if it's onside or offside. So there is a legitimate reason for using that. I don't fully agree with the science of it, but hey, who am I? I'm not Einstein. But if you've touched the tiniest bit of the ball, but it went through the player,
But it was already going through him as he touched it.
as he touched the ball, yeah. So it's a
Yeah.
foul. It's 100% a foul.
But
Again,
in the rules, there's nothing about if you get the ball, it doesn't matter. There's nothing about that.
yeah.
And everyone's obsessed by this, but you got the ball.
I
That was
thought
the
we were
rule in the
past
fucking
this because this was
80s,
like
90s.
a 10, 15 year ago kind of conversation.
It's a British thing of, I got the ball. I've killed him, but I got the ball though, so
But
it's
remember,
fine.
it was like 3 or 4 seasons ago, and people were getting sent off the follow through quite a lot, and people were like, "I got the ball," but no, it's the follow through, and then they
Yeah.
started to understand it, and now we're back to the stage where,
Back
"Oh,
to
but got the ball," and I'm like, "No, I don't care."
let's blame the American Scott.
Oh, yes.
So England Norway is going to be a massive game. It's a very like kind of Premier League heavy. They'll know each other really well. Like we said, England defence against Odegaard, maybe Sheldrop starts, maybe Bob starts. We don't know. There's been talk of a virus going around that squad. It's like, oh, of course there fucking is. Of course there is. Fucking Tuchel's got in me. Jordan Henderson has been sneaking in me. He's broken arm and fucking poisoning them. Who knows?
Donald Trump
I think
with Harry Kane on his golf course
yeah.
and having his ear.
I think that's going to be a really, really good battle. It could go either way. Either team could kind of deserves to get through. No, I don't think there's any favourites there at all. England will find their favourites, or they'll be start favourites. I think Norway have proven more than good enough to make it through.
So England will be the bookies' favourites, but again, you have to kind of understand the way the bookies work. One, who puts on the most money on a thing will usually be the favourite, and two, they're based in Britain. They're English companies, so there's going to be a bit of favouritism amongst both the bookies and the punters. So yeah, I think it's going to be a very interesting game. I think between them, Kane and Haaland could really get a couple of goals in there, because I don't think either defence is hugely solid.
No.
And it's just a case of almost like a who blinks first situation. Do you know what I mean? It's like could be
It's
that
kind of
way
Western
if they
draw.
play it that way. Yeah, it's just a kind of keep going at it and see
It could
who
be
gets
1-0. It could be 3-2. It could go either way. The first quarterfinal is tomorrow, as of recording, is France against Morocco or France against France, where people were born. I'm going, oh, is it six? As I say, six European teams, and well, actually 7 because all of Morocco were born in Europe. Pretty much. So I'm looking forward to this one, Scott. It could be brilliant. Like it was the semi-final last time up. Morocco want redemption. They've kind of changed style. Are they better? And at times against Canada, they didn't look better, but they held in. They recovered well, got the goals. We're not sure about Saibari, came off injured against Canada. That's a huge goal. But Brahimi did well. He's got his goal, a couple of chances.
Yep.
Like, didn't look a mug. this is going to be France, who obviously survived the Paraguay test, the Paraguay endurance, fucking how they had no cards. I've no idea. This should be up France's street, Scott. This is a more open game, base in behind, space to play. Probably don't need the ball. Morocco love the ball. With Bouadi and El Anawi and like and Onai as well. Like they could have possession. France about right. We're going to hit you. As soon as we get it, we can go. And this is the one. This is the one that gets the mouth warm.
I think France are going to run over the top of them. The reason I'm suggesting that is because every time I've seen Morocco, I've seen them quite a lot, they have given up too much parts of the game, too long a spell during the game. It happened against Brazil.
Canada had the chances. Like they could have scored. It'd be a different game, but they didn't have that kind of
It happened
quality.
against Brazil, happened against us, happened against Canada, it happened against the Netherlands. And if you do that against France, they're going to kill you. It's just going to be 2 minutes. There's no way you can allow that kind of period of play to happen when you've got
Mm,
Dembele, Doué, or Barcola, Lise, and Mbappe just on top of you. You cannot afford to give them the ball in your half and just hope to God that they don't score.
yeah.
So I think that for me, that's the main thing. I think Morocco were more progressive last time round. And I do understand that they may have thought that that was a bit of naivety and that they've kind of tried to be a bit more kind of solid with it. They've got good ball
No,
keeping midfielders,
Scott.
so it's
So the way around. So in the last World Cup, they were very like pragmatic and like defensive and counter attacking. And now under the new coach, he's more possession based, trying to be a bit more expansive, and like he could just play into France's hands. Like,
I just think it's progressive to a certain point without a full kind of
yeah,
full stop.
yeah.
Especially without Zabiri being there.
Brahim Diaz hasn't been great. He's not
No,
created a lot.
I
I think
think
El Canus is good down the left. But yeah.
I think it's just been in flashes. But
Hmm.
saying that, Egypt, Senegal, they've taken teams to the brink, and if you can do that, if you can. My only concern is that that was what Paraguay did to France. That was the game that France went fully on the boil, and I don't know if
Yeah.
there's another game within
Well,
4 or 5
there's
that
gonna be
they're going
so
to do
much
that.
space more than that Paraguay. There was no space to Paraguay. It was just like we're going to sit here. I was telling someone that Adrian Rabiot had 15 shots outside the box in his
Oh
whole
yeah,
Serie A season. He had 4 on fucking
yeah,
that game because that's where the space was. He was like, I'm going to have a pop. You never know. But if you give them space in time, they could. Again, I hope it's a really back and forward game, or France are just like really pressing on the counter. But yeah, I think they should have too much. They are the better side, but as we've seen so far, it could just takes that one goal. And if Morocco do then go to the kind of old pragmatic style, and they've shown they can do that, they got to the semi final doing that. Like it could be very interesting. I think first goals would be so important because if France
yeah.
score, if you have to chase France, like that's the one team
And they're
I
just
don't
going
want
to
to be
rip you
chasing.
apart. And
Yeah.
I do want to quickly touch on the Paraguay situation because I think people in Paraguay or like Paraguayan football kind of got it a wee bit mixed up in their feeds and how they fit. I don't think many people are blaming Paraguay as such.
No,
It's the referee.
I blame the referee.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I think that's for most people. I think you know uh, you should be hitting people in the face, which you did about 2 or 3 times. You're punching
he's a little
people.
shit house,
Do you
that
know what I mean?
bastard.
You're kicking people. I mean, you
Galaza.
have to say that it was the dark arts, but if
Yeah,
you're getting away with it, that's fine.
you're going to keep pushing it. You're going to keep
You're
pushing
going,
it.
yeah, so I don't blame the players. I don't blame the fans for not being too bothered about it if they're trying to get a result against France. But the referee was terrible. The referee uh,
Yeah, the
just
Uzbekistan referee will probably never see again. The shocking.
see what they say about the Scotland Morocco and wasn't giving it away penalties. No,
Yep.
I don't. I kind of like the fact in the Scotland Morocco game he just decided he wasn't going to give
I was just to give nothing. Fuck it.
free kicks
Let
in
them play.
the last third. But you have to be able to see that people are. You know, he did see it.
You've got to protect people as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's the
There,
yes. That's the most. That's the most
there was a
important thing
tackle.
for me is you have
There
to
was a
protect the
tackle on
players.
Rabiot. He fucking like just took him out, and you're like, come on, like I get you want to let little 50-50s go and like a little bit of niggle, but it went too
Yeah,
far, and it's up to him.
it
It's up
was
to him to
violent.
stand
Yeah,
out.
exactly.
The fact that he gave France 3 yellows, like the Barcola one, they barely touched him. The
Yeah, I
Elise
know.
one where they didn't even go near him. It's like, come on,
It's the most bizarre refereeing in terms of how you can not give 1 yellow card to Paraguay. It's just bizarre.
it's mad.
And I want to say one more thing. I don't know them. I don't really care to know them.
Celeste Amarilla, because I
There
knew
we
you were
go.
going to go there. I've
Yeah,
got it
yeah, I
up.
was about.
The
Shame on
Paraguayan
her.
senator.
Shame on her. Nobody give her any more air to breathe. Let her just sit in Paraguay and do whatever she has to do as a politician. I hope France, as a government,
Mbappe responded, and it was a
yeah,
very
seen that, yeah,
professional, like
very,
fair play to
very
the for
professional.
yeah.
But I hope, like France, just say, "Person non grata, do not come to Europe because you're not going to be
Yeah,
welcome,"
yeah,
and then
yeah.
just leave it at
Yeah,
that.
don't
Just
don't invite her over for like, a PSG game as I kind of what I mean. There's some said some horrendous things. We're not
yeah,
going to repeat them, but
nah.
yeah, horrendous person. How you think it's like someone said on Twitter, if she says this in public, what the fuck does she say in private?
But then she doesn't apologise, but she says, "This is just what I'm like. This is
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
was born into, and I'm
Just who I
trying to
am. It's
learn."
fine.
But you've still not learned the word sorry, so just keep yourself
Yeah.
to yourself. I don't want to hear anything else about you.
As we were talking about last night, Scott, I'm all for people if they come out and say, "Look, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean that." But
Uh,
she's done the "I'm sorry," but
I'm not going to get into
I
what
know,
I
I
think
know,
of
I
that
know.
situation. But yeah, what was the next game?
We've got Spain against Belgium to round it up. Go on, do you want to talk us through how they got here?
So
Just
Spain,
do Spain Portugal first because the last game is the
yeah, that's a good one. Spain, um, Portugal. I thought it was a good kind of 50-50 game, and I do think for long spells, especially in the first half, Portugal had the better of it in terms of midfield battle. They've got no focal point because Cristiano Ronaldo couldn't run.
and not played Leao either. Was
Yeah, that was a strange one because we both
yeah.
said that right at the
He was
start.
good against
He,
Croatia as well.
and it was so I think the big tactical plan for Martinez was that João Felix would get closer to Ronaldo. So if you get the ball up, he could flick it on because he could still kind of jump, but he'll do all his running for him, and it just never worked out that way. João Felix has
I
not
mean,
worked out the way anybody thought he was
was
going to.
that Martinez's decision or was it Ronaldo's
Well,
decision?
yeah, well, who knows?
Plays for
Yeah,
the
yeah,
same
it's a good.
team. Plays
You
for the
could be
same
right.
team.
It could be.
Yeah.
He was told that by his captain. I thought Fernandez had a good game. Bruno Fernandez really kind of impressed me. But the more it went like that way, the more Spain realised, okay, you're just going to actually, you're not going to surprise us. You're just going to go for Cristiano Ronaldo.
Mm.
It just became a bit more kind of keep the ball for Spain. Wasn't entertaining in terms of chances.
No, I think I
Olafavo
said you
had a good chance in the
f-
first half that I remember.
the first half was intriguing, like tactical battles, nice. But then at some point it has to like
Yeah,
give me the next bit, and that's what
and
it never
it
did.
never got to that stage. As
No.
I say, Olafavo had one that kind of went glancing, kind
Oh,
of through you,
we
hit
both
it
said we
to the
thought maybe he thought he was offside.
yeah.
Possibly he didn't quite put yeah, but they said just fucking score and then
Because it's a hard
wait
one
for the
in that
flag.
situation as a forward. I always found that a hard situation because I always thought if I scored when I was offside, that I thought I was offside, then I'm kind of what's my chances of actually scoring again in a game? So it's weird how your mind kind of plays
It's like in
tricks on you.
basketball. If I was hitting my 3 pointers in warm up, I was like, "Fuck, I'm never going to hit one now."
Exactly, yeah.
I've wasted all the good
So you,
ones.
you see, and I'm not saying that he has thought that, but that's the kind of
Yeah,
thing that goes through my mind.
I'm not going
Uh,
to waste my finish on this.
but you
Yeah,
should always finish in case that's it. You better
especially now
onside when
because they're
you've
not
got
putting the
VAR.
flag up until after the event's done now.
And you've got VAR,
Like,
so it's not as if it's going to be a
yeah,
dubiety. Um, so yeah, I can't really remember many chances after that. Can you kind of?
it was the goal. The goal was really good. Marino, Ferran Torres, brilliant pass. Marino finishes it. Great finish. I think Spain
He
overall
likes
deserved it.
he
Like,
likes Marino, the manager
yeah,
Fuentes, and that's the kind of reason why he does come up with big goals in big games. And I'm just so glad he did because I did not want to watch another half hour of it.
no, no one did. No one did. Now they will play Belgium, and I think if you told me after maybe 2 group games that they would have got to the quarterfinals, I would call you a crazy person because they were dreadful. And there's 2 factors here, Scott. There is the USA factor: foreign Balogun, red card, not a red card, suspension, suspended sentence. But they're like, fucking, right, we'll get to that. Belgium, Rudy Garcia, fair play to him. I have a mixed relationship with Mr. Garcia. He went with a bold team selection. Started your boy Raskin. He started the Catalari. He started Tielemans further up. Onana. It
The
was such a
the
more
winger, the Aslak
Luka
Dorf, he's
Bakio.
actually turned out quite
Yeah,
decent. Yeah.
he doesn't score or create chances, but he's just a
He's
handful. Like
always in the periphery. He's always getting the ball and
yeah,
passing on to somebody else that gets
and he's
a
quick.
chance or
He's
whatever.
good on the
Yeah,
ball.
I did notice that more
Drop,
in the USA game.
drop De Bruyne, drop Lukaku, and the midfield was so much more athletic and mobile. Shock. And no matter what happened with the USA before, whether they were like impacted by Trump getting involved, whether the occasion got too big for them, as soon as Belgium scored, the fucking air dropped out of them and the whole place. And
So,
then
so there's a few things I want to talk about this game, but you've mentioned something there that actually and I had not thought about it until this very kind of second that you said that there. He said he dropped De Bruyne and were more athletic. If Martinez did that for Portugal,
he
Garcia,
could,
no,
yeah,
but that's it.
yeah,
Garcia's went, do you know what? This is my decision. This is my call. I'm going to give the balls. I think it's time that we actually.
yeah.
I've given him a few games. Been all right. He's not been terrible, but he's just not. The team's kind of disconnected. I think it slows down when it gets to him. They look for him. So he's like, I'm going to take you out of the equation and let's see
And
if we can
you've also got
actually.
that. All right, it's half an hour to go. It's 0-0.
Yeah, and you can
I
bring
can bring
him.
on Kevin De Bruyne and Lukaku. It's not
Yeah.
bad, is it? Like, and you send to them. You've got half an hour.
The
Go fucking
Lukaku
win it.
one was more obvious in terms of he'd played so much that
Yeah.
previous game, and he hasn't played a lot this season, so I wasn't as
If you give
surprised
those
by
two
that one.
older guys, if you're giving them half an hour and go, like you've got only got half an hour or maybe 60 max, go win it.
Yeah.
Like rather than like having to maybe like, I'll chase that ball, I won't chase that one, or like you kind of trying to get your way through a game because you're older. But then it was like, but Raskin was good. I thought,
Can I say this to the Americans? You lost to the better team, and that's what happens when you play a better team and they're up for it. You're going to be chasing shadows. They've got more football intelligence than your players. That's not disregarding any American player. I like the American national team. I think Tillman's great. Pulisic is a good player. I don't think he's as good as they think he is.
he was
He's
he
had
was
a terrible
bad. He
tournament.
was
Yeah,
bad.
he's had
Yeah.
a bad tournament. Uh, but the sum of your all parts is just not good enough when it comes to the kind
But
of last
like
16.
on that note, right? You look at that USA midfield: McKennie, Tyler Adams, and Tillman. I think all three of them could play for Belgium. Like if you're like talking about quality,
Not altogether, I don't think.
no, but I mean, like if you said, "Oh,
If you put
we take
yeah.
Tyler Adams or Raskin," you're like, "Well, I'd probably take." I've not seen enough of Raskin, but it's like Tyler Adams is a very good defensive mid.
So Raskin's a funny one. So Raskin, I've seen a lot more than you have. It does definitely have something about him. He's
But
not.
was it? It's not like Rodri or Tyler Adams. Do you know what I mean? It's not.
It's not, but
You're not picking.
there's not consistent enough at league at club level. But Garcia loves him, and it does seem to do well for. But he's
But
got
I'm
a
talking,
decent amount of goals and
Tyler Adams or
assists.
USA. You're playing in
Yeah,
England.
yeah.
Like it's not a. Or you picking Messi or Pulisic. It's not that
Yeah.
kind of debate. It's
No.
either like McKennie or Onana or Thielen. McKennie's a really good player. Like Tillman, we like. But I think he could have more an open play. Obviously, he got his set pieces. And didn't probably do enough. Maybe impacted by what went on. I think defensively, I like Anthony Robinson. I like Freeman. Looked a good
Yeah,
player.
he's one of the best left backs in the
Tim
Premier
Ream.
League.
No one's picking Tim Ream at centre back. Like the other lad, Chris Richards, great player for Crystal Palace. They're all good players. Like there's no.
But America, so this is the thing. They're like, oh, this is the best team we've ever had. I don't actually agree with that. I think they won in kind of 2002 and stuff like that. I always liked
Yeah,
them.
like Landon
But
Donovan and Michael
so
Beasley and that. Like,
I think this team may be better individuals, but just as a team, as a collective, I thought they
yeah.
were stronger back in the 2000s. But that's
What
not to,
happened to that?
again. But that's not
What
again.
happened
Like,
to that team we saw against Paraguay? What happened to that first like 30 minutes against Paraguay? We never saw it again.
but
It was very.
maybe that's Paraguay. Maybe Paraguay froze a wee bit.
But just the
Or
way they were
maybe the
chasing the ball
pressure got
down
too
and the
much.
intensity, like
Yeah,
yeah, I think they got it's like maybe deer in headlights, like the home World Cup expectations. Belgium have not been good. There's a
I think
chance
the
here.
worst thing could have happened to them happened. Trump got involved. The world turned against them, so that's added the extra more pressure,
Yeah,
and that
and
spurred Belgium on something. That's why we've
I'm
seen the best Belgium
yeah,
performance of the
yeah,
tournament so far.
massively. You put an athletic midfield in, they're now like we're going to fucking do you. So they're chasing them down and harrying them, and USA couldn't pick 2 free passes together. They really struggled. Like so, the bargain thing. I'm with Thierry Henry, right? I don't think it was a red. But sadly, as we said, there's nothing in the rules about intent and what you mean. You have to then just accept it as a red card. And for your fucking president, who apparently just knows sports, apart from didn't know what a red card was,
No, he knows all
really
the
good.
sports. He knows
I'm
all the sports.
really good at all the sports. Fuck off. And he said, imagine being Belgium and going, we need to, like, Rudy Garcia's going, there's no team talk, there's just fucking playing this
Yeah,
cunt's fucking Twitter, like
exactly. Yeah,
fucking.
just but
And you can see because like Lukaku's doing the dance. There's the videos of the dressing room, they're all doing the
oh
dance. Even
god,
though
that's
Nana's in his fucking crippled leg doing the dance, like and I feel for the like. I love Americans. I like America. I will. I'm never on this bandwagon of fucking Yanks. Like
no, I love
those players.
Americans. Not
Those
all of them,
players
but I don't live by
didn't.
anything.
Those players didn't deserve that. Like
No,
extra. And Balogun came out, so it didn't affect me. It didn't affect the teams. Like bullshit.
yeah.
That everyone's talking about you for the wrong reasons for the whole week.
And
And
the energy's gone against you in terms of the whole world, essentially. Don't get me wrong, there will be Trump supporters all over the world, I do understand that.
yeah,
The majority of the world wants to see you lose, and we're happy that you lost 4-1. I remember I watched a school fight one time when I was at school, right?
yep.
And there's a guy that nobody really liked. He was a bit smarmy, he was a bit confident, and all the rest of it. He got absolutely battered, right? He stood up, and the whole school basically cheered, right? And that's what it felt like with the Americans getting beat 4-1. It was like the whole world went, yeah, that's you. Because it's not
And
just, and it's not
it's probably
just
more
the
like
Trump stuff. It's
if
the
his it's more that if his pal got battered because he's not going like Trump's done the
no,
no, John,
but
you've got
no.
him.
I mean the team is
Yeah.
not just Balogun. There's nothing Balogun can do. I would be in the same boat as
I meant
Balogun.
it's not Trump that got battered. It's the fucking
Oh yeah,
USA team that got
yeah,
battered because of him.
yeah.
Like,
But and I've got no issues with Balogun playing, in the sense that it's not his fault. I would play if I was allowed back in.
yeah,
I'm not going to really question it too much. But I'm going to be a wee bit stronger than you and Thierry then, and say though that challenge, I can see why it's given as a red card. I'm not
yeah,
saying
that's
I would necessarily give it
yeah,
myself, but it's one of those ones that you can see it given and you can see it not given. It's
yeah.
just what happens in football.
One of
Again,
my favorite. I was at a Chaddy game. Tier 9 for listeners. English football. Charlton guy went in for a tackle. The opposition guy really hurt himself, like really badly injured, had to come off. And someone shouted, just because he's fucking hurt doesn't mean it's a fucking foul. And it's like doing the sticks in your head, always stick in my head. It's like, it's true. Like, you can go for a 50-50. I broke a guy's ankle once when I was at high school at a 50-50. We didn't even know until, because both went for the ball and you both hit the ball at the same time. Broke his ankle. It's not my fault. It's not a foul. It's just shit happens. Balogun went down on the guy's ankle. It looks, show the freeze frame. It looks bad, but in the
yeah, you
context,
never go by a
it's not.
free
It's
show.
just.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah, and that's what I think the whole Article 27 says. Blah blah blah. It's like the first thing the ref should see is not the freeze frame of the guy's ankle getting turned over,
Yeah.
because no matter what else you see, that's in your head. That's
the first thing in the image. Yeah, and that's the one that stays with you. Yeah.
If FIFA had to come out and said,
uh,
no, if FIFA had come out and said that was the wrong call, we have rescinded it, and it's a yellow, no one would have
But they
batted
can't.
an eyelid. But they can't.
No, they would have, because they can't, because they've not got the policy in place. Why they've not got that policy in place of appealing,
Look,
I don't
Premier League's
understand.
got it. Everyone's got these appeal. I think because maybe the turnaround in
Why have you
games.
got VAR? Why have you got VAR, but you can't
Yeah.
appeal a decision? So I think that, again, that's wrong, and I think that will come with the next World Cup. I think it has to now.
Yeah.
I think FIFA have had their pants pulled down because
Oh.
Trump has come out and said that he did do it, and this, that, and the next thing, called Johnny,
Called
every 2
Johnny,
seconds.
your mate Johnny. Johnny, good guy.
So, but
And-
you know,
and it just-
and he's then trying to explain it without knowing what football is. He's like,
so
oh,
I
you know, it's not
didn't know
fair
what
that
the
you
red
would
card meant.
get a red card and you like
miss the game.
but he gets a red card and he misses the next game. That's football. That's been our history since red cards began. You miss the next game.
And they were
And
like,
that's
oh,
what
it was done. It
happens.
was done before 1962 Garincha. That's because the fucking referee was getting bribed.
Yeah.
That's why that got rescinded. And not because your pal phoned up. And then the Ronaldo one, but Ronaldo still served a 1-game ban.
But I argued that
and then they suspended the next two. So
I said
so
the
it's not even
Ronaldo
same.
one was corrupt. I said the Ronaldo one was corrupt as well.
Yeah, I
But
think it
the
is. It
fact
obviously
of
is.
the
But,
matter
it's like,
is-
but the fact that they still went, well, it's a 3-game ban.
It's-
You've sold the first one, and then we'll do the thing. Yeah.
But there's also, it's going to get mentioned twice in this podcast. John Walker also made a point. It's like, oh, well, it's the player's character and all the rest of it. He'd done a very kind of similar foul. It was probably a bit more kind of blatantly a foul. And got sent off against for Monaco.
A front on front. Fuck it, he's actually gone to tackle the guy. That's not the same at all. I saw that in John. I felt as I can't be asked pulling John up on this. Can't ball, but
no. But what I mean is, it's about your player's character. The suspension until you do something similar or whatever, and that is what the
Yeah.
suspension is. So we can't really argue with the kind of that is what a suspension is. But he's done it already. He has been sent off. Even if you take away whatever the sent off was, he has been sent off quite recently. So the character
Yeah.
issue should be, well,
I
okay,
think
he's
it's
actually
two very different
no, but
sort
it's
of
still a red
different
card.
tackles. Yeah.
It doesn't matter. See the suspension. If he does something, whatever it is, in 3 months' time, then he gets a bigger suspension because of that one.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what kind of tackle it is. It's going to be
No,
whether or
I just
not it
meant
gets
more that
his.
showing me a tackle when he played for Monaco in the league, where he's basically gone to tackle the guy
Yeah,
and he's got his
okay,
ankle.
but
It's
it's
not the
still.
same as showing me that one. It's not his character. It's not
But it is.
the the
He has been sent off recently for a bad challenge, and what I mean is the suspension is that it's not a case of well, okay, it's a good. When I say good character, I don't mean
the
his actual
suspension means
character.
fuck all. No one will give a shit
I know,
when
that's it,
Balogun gets his red
100%.
card down there. Gives a fuck.
Nobody,
no,
but
who cares?
that is the thing. Yeah, nobody will care.
Yeah.
Nobody will bring it up.
So we got last bit's got Spain, Belgium, Scott. It's like, are we going to have Belgium got
No,
enough
they're
about
out.
them?
They're out.
Yeah.
That was their final.
Fair.
That
That's a
was their
bin, yeah.
final. Again, to be honest, it's a similar situation that they found themselves in with the US, but in the opposites. They're going to come up against a better team. They're going to be chasing shadows, and they're going to get run over the top of it. Might not be a full win.
I hope we see the Spain that we saw in the Euros. We've not seen that Spain yet.
I think we've not seen that Spain because we've
You,
not seen Yamal or Williams at
Nico.
their full
Yeah, you
fitness.
think Lamal's not fit, don't you? But
I don't
I
think he's.
think you said that 2 seconds later. He beat a guy. He beat Nuno Mendes on the outside, and they're like, "Man, he seems all right."
So I don't think he is 100% fully match fit. I don't think the Mendes thing is a good kind of scenario. He's not done that enough, and uh, it's almost as if they're protecting him. He's protecting himself.
He
I
has to
think he's
play
getting
because
there.
he's a
I think he's getting there.
superstar. Yeah.
He's probably he could get there against Belgium. And I think and there's also more of a reliance to hit it to him as well because you've not got Nico Williams in the left. They do not have the same kind of.
Which baffles me. You've got
Who's the
fucking.
boy that
You've
we
got
played on the left? Benya. He doesn't
yeah.
have it. Going on what I've seen in this World Cup, I've not seen him previously. Doesn't have that same dynamic. He doesn't have that. He seems to be a bit more like a Beckham type.
Wait,
They'll kind of get a ball in
when
quite quickly.
when he was at Villarreal, he got something like 17 assists in the league, and then anyway, he's gone to Atleti. I don't think he's had as good a season with Atleti. But yeah, he's got something about him. It's not the same. He's not driving, beating guys, driving. He's not got that same Nico Williams like energy. We've not seen Munoz. He wasn't fit either. But I said to you that in that game is like if Nico Williams hasn't got enough now to play 20 minutes against Portugal, play against Belgium, I kind of think why did you even take him? I get
So
like Yamal was the first. Yamal was going to miss the first 2 games, and he was going to miss one, and now he's going to get 20 minutes. It was like it kind of kept going down. But we've seen him against.
So we saw
Played
Williams
one of the
in
games.
he came in. He came in one of the games.
One of the group games,
Group
but then
games.
maybe,
And then I would
maybe
see
there
him
was a
again.
reoccurrence. Maybe there was a flare up or something we don't know about. It could happen.
And maybe it's just
Yeah,
it was just maybe worse than they thought, and it's just not healed quickly. I
yeah.
don't know. It does seem, but as you say,
I hope
it seems very strange that you wouldn't bring him on when you needed a win against Portugal. It means to me, I don't think he's going to be fit for the rest of the tournament.
maybe a
Certainly
couple
not
of
to
games,
start.
like
Certainly
couple of
not to start.
days. Maybe if he gets half an hour, if he doesn't play any part of the Belgian games, like fucking send him home. Let him go back to Bilbao early. Like it's fucking pointless. Got we asked this question in the very pod: who's winning?
I think it's for me from what we've seen so far. I can't see past France. I just think they've got too much about them still. I think that the worst game in front of goal is going to be the Paraguay game. I don't see a defence stopping them. Morocco may be the toughest game they've got left.
France Spain could be
Oh,
tasty.
sorry, I forgot. I thought it was the
Yeah,
semi-finals.
no.
No, Morocco's not the Spain. That'll be the toughest game, I think. If they
Yeah.
beat Morocco, and they should beat Morocco, in my opinion.
I'm getting very, very worried that England have enough to do this. Watching that Argentina game until they obviously come back, I was like, this England team will fucking destroy this Argentina team. Man for man, apart from Messi, they're a better team. They're quicker, they're more powerful, they're a bit more dynamic. If they actually, but the only thing that can beat England is England. If the demons get hold of them, I think they should be. If they don't make the final, I think they should be really disappointed. And then I'm not even sure if I can watch that. I don't know if I can put myself through that.
I just don't see England being that favourite in terms of I can see Norway knocking them out.
So
I
I can see
I can
Norway beating
see
them. I can see
Argentina beating
Argentina
them.
beating them, but I can also see them
Yeah,
being too much for these teams as well. I think they've
yeah.
got so if
I don't think they're
and I think
they're
it's
out
more
to it.
down to I think it's more down to them rather than the opposition. If they believe they can beat Argentina, they
I
can beat
just
Argentina. It's whether they can believe or not is the Argentinian hoodoo that's over them. Like even though
I
these
think
guys, it's not. Yeah, I worry. I worry.
I
I
think if
worry.
you look at their defensive mistakes, that's the thing.
I know.
I think Croatia, two sloppy goals. Doctor Congo, a sloppy goal. Um, Mexico, sloppy defending. Not necessarily sloppy goals, but sloppy defending. You know, it's not
Yeah,
always.
there was enough chances. I just
Um,
I've got a really bad feeling Scotland are going to get to the final. I hope then that France have enough to do them in, but that would be far too close for
so
me
are
for
you?
them.
So are you tipping England? Is that who you're saying that's going to win this World Cup?
I am. I don't know if this is me having the fear.
Is this you
Been
trying to
trying to do the reverse jinx, but
trying to take somebody? You
uh,
put a big
the
over.
on the Belgium USA game, I had that bet on that if USA won, I'd have won 56 quid. Right, I did not put the Belgian shirt on because of I seem to wear team shirts and they lose.
Yeah.
I was like, well, if I put the Belgian shirt on, Belgium will lose, but it knows that. It knows that. It knows I'll do that for that reason. So I can't wear the Belgian shirt. So it said the double jinx, but then it knew that as well. And it became a triple jinx. And so if I say England now, it means that either they're going to win it because I've said it, and or they're not going to win it because
Yeah, you can't win. So you're
I
going to
can't.
buy an England shirt
Yeah.
and wear that for the final?
No, I'm not. Yeah, that's not happening. I've not got a Norway shirt. I've got a Norway Erling Haaland coaster,
Oh
which
yeah,
was funny because I bought the surprise shirt Mexico box, and obviously it was sent before this game was decided. And when it opened it, I was like, "Perfect, lads, you nailed it, big man." I'll be getting toasted on for that game, right? Scott, we'll call it a day there. We've got four very intriguing quarterfinals to come up, and then we'll be back hopefully after them to discuss the semis and probably the final at that point. Thanks everyone for listening, watching. Yeah, follow us on Twitter, follow us on YouTube. YouTube Shorts. We've got a prediction. Scott's winning. I've not tallied up the score as of yet.
like and subscribe and comment, ask us questions,
No.
anything you want.
Thanks for watching, guys. From me and Scott. Bye for now. Let's just stop.